Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be looking at a modified version of the indicator pattern which we saw in the last session. We had seen how we can take the high KK pattern for figuring out the opportunities to trade in a profitable manner. Today we are seeing a modified version, or you can say even the derivative of the high KK pattern. This adds some conditions to the existing pattern. So because of that, the formation becomes even more rarer. But with that, we have higher chances of getting the reversal right. So to that extent, it can be considered as a refining of the high KK pattern. So let us now head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the GBP/USD chart, and let us change to the most liquid, most commonly traded currency cross Euro USD. Alright, so here it is, and we have this increased volatility in today's session for the Euro USD. There have been some sharp moves. If we look at it, it has continued to trade in this prior range, but on this higher side, there is this large fluctuation. Now, if we want to add this pattern, all you have to do is go to this add indicator option, or even you can do a quick search and there you will get it. So let us try this add indicator option first. It is listed amongst the pattern recognition. Here it is, just below the high KK pattern. Alright, so here it is. And if you don't want to take all this trouble, simply type in and here it will appear. Alright, now I have added it. This is the chart for the Euro USD drawn on the candle period of hourly time frame. And as I said in my introductory remarks also, this is going to be rarer. For high KK we were getting multiple entries, but with this modified version the formation becomes quite rarer. And if we look closely here, we found this one instance here, but if this is the second instance, and we haven't really seen multiple instances. So in almost like 3 weeks, we have only twice this formation, giving you some signals to trade with. This was way back in 14th of December. Alright, now let's see and understand how this pattern can be utilized on the chart. So let us take this example. Now, if you are aware, the Hikkake formation essentially tries to get the entry after a false move. Suppose if we are dealing with a bearish formation, in that context, we first get a move on the higher side after the predefined for requirement of having a harami candle formation. The first two candles of this high KK formation should have a harami pattern, and that simply means the first candle, the initiation candle, should be having a large candle body and the second candle should be contained within that. Then in next couple of candles there should be a false move, and as that false move comes to an end, we should see a sharp drop below the lower point of the second candle of the pattern. So that's how this system works. And then the additional requirement is that we should have in recent hours the price of the instrument should be on the highest level for the bearish formation, and when we are dealing with the bullish formation, the price of the instrument should be at the lowest point for the intraday range. So that is the reason this formation becomes much more rarer, because every time we want to take a trade, it should be reversing the course from the highest or the lowest point of the day. So that essentially makes it much difficult if we have this candle formation drawn on the hourly time frame, and as a result of that, these instances have become much less frequent. But at the same time, it also increases the possibility of getting the trade right, as this particular formation looks at the false signals generated and then falsification of the false signal. So that increases the possibility, the probability, and with the price reversal happening from the highest point for the bearish formation, we have more room to see the instrument decline further if we have this modified Hikkake pattern for the bearish reversal, and in case of the bullish reversal, as is the instance this case, we had this intraday range low being touched by the Euro USD. After that, this formation gave the signal somewhere here, and if we had gone in with the stop loss below this immediate swing low formed by the pattern, we would have indeed made some money, if not much, just a decent amount, good enough, I think, on the hourly timeline. And if we look at the earlier instances of how things shaped up, here also the reversal happened after this move on the higher side. We saw this Euro USD touching the intraday highs and then suddenly dropping below these prior lows, and here the pattern was confirmed, and after that this steep decline unfolded for the Euro USD. So with this kind of range being provided by the formation, I think the risk reward ratio works out quite well. But the only thing is, this formation is going to get much more rarer. Let us see how things unfold on the lower time frame charting. If maybe the frequency might increase, but there also the condition for the reversal remains the same, that we need the reversal from the highest or the lowest point of the day. So that is going to add it to the requirement, and in this case we saw this bearish modified high KK formation. Prior to that we had this bullish high KK formation. In both these cases the profit would have been there, but in for the bearish case we would have profited not much, but eventually it would have ended up in loss. Let us look for some more examples. So even though the chart is drawn for the 5 minutes, we are not really getting many instances. Here there is one and it declined, but not substantially. So with this you get the idea that not every time you are going to get, not even every day you are going to get these pattern generating signals for you. So this essentially tries to maximize the profitability of the trade whenever the signals are generated, and that is why the original high KK pattern was modified to add this condition of getting the reversal from the highest or the lowest point of the day. So let us see what we can do in terms of modifying the modified IKK pattern, and I'm sure we can't really do anything with its input value. Output, maybe you can go for different color combination if you are not really fan of this bluish color. Maybe even whiter shades might look better. So all these options are there. You can even go for a custom color combination. So all these options are provided on the platform. Styling, you can go for the bracket, or you can even have this whole candle shaded with the color of your choice, as is happening here, but it looks too prominent on the chart. In that case you can reduce the transparency. With lower transparency the prominence becomes that much less, but being white color it is always going to look highly prominent on the chart with this black background. Coming to the advanced editing option, we calculate on new candle only. This is not really going to make much of an impact. Highlight the time period zone, so whatever is the number of candles being considered for this pattern. it will be highlighted. Calculate from custom data. This has been disabled as we can't customize the input data. Show indicator on all the periods. So if you have this, whenever you will change the candle period, the pattern will be recognized on the new candle period. But if you simply want it to work with certain candle periods but not on others, then you can always go for the modification. And if you opt for the higher candle periods, you will see that this signals is not going to appear on the chart much frequently. It is going to become that much more difficult for you to get signals generated by the modified Hikkake pattern on the larger time frame. If you opt in for certain candle period, only on that candle period this chart pattern recognition on the chart will be appearing, and for other candle periods it won't be appearing. So now if I go to 10 minutes, we will have it. So here it is. But even if I go back to hourly, all right, it is there, but I think something to do with the, okay, so here these again show indicator on all periods, so because of that it is showing. But the essential thing is, if we opt out of it, it won't show up on the other time frame which we have not opted in for. So you have to specify on which candle period you want it, and only on those candle period this pattern recognition will appear on the chart. So that's how this system works. So you can have profitability increased with this formation, and always keep in mind that no particular formation is perfect. Even this formation is not going to be perfect. This is also going to generate false signals, as we saw in some of the examples. So all you should be trying is to get the optimization done, so that if you happen to be losing money, you should be losing less money, and if you happen to be making money, should be making good amount of money. So that's the essential part of getting the system right, and in a profitable manner. So that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share regarding this modified high KK pattern and its uses, do write to me in the feedback, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. And also on the platform we have the added feature of the hot list. So if you want to know, you can get the listing of the stocks which are active for that session. So here we have this feature added. You can enable it from view and hotlist. Here it is, and all those buzzing stocks during that hour in that session will appear on this chart. You can even specify. Now if I modified it today, you are seeing that this stocks which have gained substantially or lost substantially in today's session, they are appearing. If you want it to modify to only 1 hour, you can do that as well. If you want the gainers or losers for the week, yeah, you get that. Even you can do monthly. So this is a very helpful feature. You get to know which stock is a mover of the month, of the week, of the day, of the hour. So accordingly you can place your bet. You can see highly volatile individual shares and then decide your strategy accordingly. So that's my take at this newly introduced feature on the platform. Try it out and let us know how it is helping you in making the trading more profitable. So that's all for today's session. Do come back next time around, where we will be looking at a fresh formation to figure out the opportunities to trade in the market. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous day ahead, a profitable day ahead. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.